One of the activities under the EMBRIO is the field course EMBRIO. Field course of EMBRIO is collaboration of the University of Victoria in Wellington, New Zealand, and Faculty of Fisheries and Marine Science of the Bogor Universities to explore the scientific networks between the two universities regarding to the methodological issues of research and field survey related with the marine biodiversities. The objective of this field course is to enhance the capacities of the student, especially student of the Victoria Universities of Wellington in New Zealand, and also the students of Bogor University, especially the Faculty of Fisheries and Science, so that we have a exchange or scientific exchange on the methodologies.
International Field Course is one of EMBRIO program which is start this year, and we hope it will continue every year for the next coming years.
In EMBRIO field course, we are giving a lecture about 3 typical ecosystem in tropical like Indonesia, such as mangroves, seagrass, and coral reefs. At each ecosystem, we are giving the methodology how to assess these ecosystems. Then we comparing about the ecosystem in Wakatobi and Seribu Islands. Especially in Seribu Islands, this is really a good site to get research on the coral reef transition, because there are such a gradient from the south to the north from Jakarta.
Okay, so we're at Parry Island in the Cerebral Islands with our international field course between Victoria University and IPB. This is a really important field course. It's the first time we've run our tropical field course in Indonesia with IPB, and we brought a group of 14 students from Victoria University, and we have a group of 6 Indonesian students. We've come to this region to explore some of the important management issues that are going on here. We've already spent 1 week in the Wakatobi to understand a little bit about coral reef ecology and how reef systems work, and we've specifically come to this area to understand how tourism and other associated impacts are affecting reef ecosystems. The field course itself represents the first of its kind for a New Zealand university, and represents an important step in the collaboration between IPB and Victoria. And the aim of the field course really is to strengthen relationships between the two universities and provide students with an opportunity to see the different reef systems that we find around Indonesia.
Enjoyed this course. It was really interesting to look at a different perspective of how ocean impact culture differently, from healthy reefs to degraded reefs, from seagrasses and to mangroves. It was interesting to see the connection on how all within the same area but different islands have different impacts on the ocean environment.
I love being on Hoga and looking at all the awesome biodiversity and corals and different sea animals. And I also loved being here on Pari Palau and doing Zumba with all the ladies here that go to their exercise group, so that was really fun. So it was great. You could see the difference between a heavily populated area like Pari Island compared to a less heavily populated area like Hoga Island. It was good to see the difference that human impacts can have on coral reefs and also the ocean seagrasses. It was really fun.
This field course that we took in Hoga Island, Wakatobi, and Thousand Island in Pulau Pari is actually very good.
I've really enjoyed the field course. You know, it's great learning about stuff in lectures, but it's very removed from what's actually happening here, so it's great to come here and experience what's actually going on with all these sites that you learn about in class. It's also been great meeting with Indonesian students, collaborating with them. It's great to get a whole range of opinions and to see how other people think on these issues which affect our whole world.
So I really enjoyed this field course. It was a whole different culture that I experienced, and got to enjoy the coral reefs, which you don't see in New Zealand. Yep.
I think this field trip has been really awesome. Really cool to be able to interact with internationals and get to know the Indonesians in a cultural way, as well as learn heaps about the marine environment. So yeah, it's been really, really good.
I'm so grateful joining this field course because I can get the real international experience in the new field that I learned.
I'm Anna, and what I really liked about the field course was getting to meet the Indonesian students and learning a lot about Indonesian culture.
Yeah, I really enjoyed seeing the difference between the two sites, the near pristine one and then the one that's been really impacted by being by a big city, because it was a really evident difference.
In this field course, I feel like I'm the only one who didn't know anything about the ocean, because I'm a newbie in this kind of work. And my friends and these all guys give me everything about the knowledge about the ocean. And thank you all.
I thought it was a really unique experience to be able to see coral reefs in areas that are highly populated versus remote locations. And it was just really neat to see the Indonesian culture.
It's my first experience to take a summer course in this department, so it's really exciting for me to follow this course. Thank you very much.
I really, on top of everything that we learned and all of the science that we got to do, I really enjoyed being immersed in the culture, because I love getting to know other people and seeing how they live, and it was just really, really fun to not only just being here and witnessing it, but experiencing it and living that, you know?
Yeah. And I think the main thing for me about this trip is, I mean, I've spent years in undergrad learning about the impacts of coral reefs and all the stuff that's going bad with seagrass and mangroves, and I think what really hit home was doing the lectures here and then going out and just seeing like all these impacts, and it was a pretty big, strong effect on me, to be honest. Yeah. And of course, hanging with you guys has been really great. We're gonna miss you guys a lot.
EMBRIO, gain your experience, meet your new friends, have a good networking.